All right, we're gonna get started stripping down this BMW, and we're gonna get it ready to go in the ring.
This is Race Car Dawn.
Yeah, no, we're not.
No, we're not. All right, we're back for part 3. A little less glass in this thing than last time. We got the trunk finished up. You saw me do that. Now we're gonna put some bolt-ins in this thing. Battery, post-to-post, fuel tank. We'll throw some switches and some wiring in it, and we'll try to wrap up the interior on this one. So let's do it. Okay, we're making some progress on the inside of this car. Got the post-to-post welded in there. Got the shifter modified. If you don't have an aftermarket shifter and you want to make it easier to go from forward to reverse, there's little notches in here. So the one for forward to reverse is near the front. Here, you can see it right there. Just get in there with a die grinder, and there'll be a step where reverse is, making you have to push on the button here to go in reverse. Knock that step out of there, and now you have reverse, neutral drive. There's dry to reverse, just like that. Save yourself some money on an aftermarket shifter. Got our Indy CNC computer holder in there. These things work awesome. I tried to make a few versions of my own early on, and these things are just the way to go. So they work for W body and LS, that same one, and he has other ones for Toyota, Honda. That's a great product. I want to share some of the things that I'm using as I go, and just pass them along. Things that I find are worth the money, because I'm as cheap as the next guy. But if something just works great, why not invest in it? Because you'll always have it. Another thing I'm doing down here, a lot of you guys don't like switches. I don't have a problem with switches. I use light switches, and they seem to be holding up. But I made this for my harness. So if you're running the same car over and over again with an aftermarket or a standalone harness, or even if it's not a standalone harness and you want to do this for your fuel system, it saves a lot of effort when you're putting it together, and it saves wiring the car every time. Got these weather pack plugs. Each one is different, so you can only plug one thing into them. So I've got 3 of them on there. One's for my standalone harness. The other one here is my e-stop button. Plug it in, and then the fuel pump plugs in. I've got 2 leads and a chunk of wire. Positive, ground, you plug that in, plug all your wires in, and your car's ready to start. You pair that with the quick disconnects on the fuel lines, and you can have a car running in like half hour, like done, ready to go. I just saves a lot of time, it saves a lot of effort, and it just takes the guesswork out of it. Starter button down here on the side. Like I said, if you're running the same car all the time, just take the time in the winter when you're not doing anything else anyway, and put something like this together. It's you'll be glad you did. Partway through swapping out the injectors on this 3100 motor. Little hack for you guys: if you ever have to change out injectors, get yourself a trim removal tool. A little less than 90 degrees. It fits. I can get it in there. Fits right in under there. Wiggle a little bit. It'll pop these injectors right out. It's a lot easier since I figured that out. I told myself I wasn't going to put another set of headers on a motor that's in a car. So I went ahead and put another set of headers on a motor that was in a car. But as long as they look cool, who cares, right? Saturday's here, you're going to get so much done on the car. Should have it done later on today. Yeah. Okay. Alright, back again. I skipped over a lot of the engine bay build on this because there wasn't a lot to really see. Stripped out both fenders, got the headers on as you saw. Just button up a lot of simple stuff. Got the rear brake lines plugged. Loop kits on, stuff like that. So I'm back from the garage with a whole bunch of parts taken off the Pro car. We're going to throw these on and get those thrown on. Hopefully in a couple hours we can give this thing the first test fire. So let's see how that goes. If you build a car with a 3100 or 3400 engine, to be this short piece of wire that goes from the coil pack to the back of the motor, that's your crank sensor. That's what triggers your coils. Have a look at it, because all the coating on it will be brittle and broken off, and there may be bare spots of wire. There is on this one. There's bare wire. If those two are shorting out, your car's not going to run good. Little tip for you. Tomorrow's laundry day, and this is the last of the fleecy. But just keep this between you and I. Okay, that's enough of that time lapse. Got things buttoned up in the engine bay. Wiring ran to the interior, computers in. Everything buttoned up nice and neat. Don't go cheap on the zip ties, they'll save you in the end. Everything tidied up in here. So funny story. I had a guy at a show once, he was buying parts off of me. So he comes up to my car to buy these parts, never met him before. And he grabs the parts, looks in the... I was running a car with factory wiring inside, so I had everything taped up to the dash bars, as neat as possible with a factory car. And he comes up and just starts trashing the interior of my car, saying how bad the wiring looked, this, that, and the other, you need to run a harness, and all that. So, as much as it wasn't really necessary for him to say that, I think of that every time I do the interior of a car, and it sets the bar a little higher. But I wouldn't recommend going out to people and telling them how bad the interior of their car looks. I'm just going to do a few last minute checkovers on the motor, check for fuel leaks, all that, and we'll give her a test fire and see if it fires right up. It should. Let's hope it does. Alright guys, I'd call that a good test fire, so we'll catch you on the next one.